Hello everyone, Pierce Nation here. Welcome back to a new Market Watch. Today we'll be going over Valiant Smashers, Rarity Collection, and a little bit of Age of Overlord. Age of Overlord does not really much be known there, but without further ado, we'll go ahead and get into this. Okay, so first of all, I'm just gonna go ahead and you know nip in the butt the big elephant in the room, which is Centurion. Is gonna be the best deck comes out of the set. Second to that, or basically tied for it, is Memento. If you're sleeping on either of these two decks, I wouldn't be doing it because they are very powerful and they do have some very strong strategies moving forward. But however, you're looking at Centurion and like, man, this deck is expensive. 37, 32, 30, 30. 13, 14 even. This is not expensive. If I'm sorry to tell you, but if you think this is expensive, this is not expensive. It is going to get expensive if you don't get it now. Reason B is this is the best deck that comes out. Memento is too. The prices are low on it because most of their stuff is low rarity. The Angel Witch and the Bone Party are the two highest rarities. And then you got the little, their 5k dude. There's another soul, I forget his actual name, they changed him too. But they don't have a lot of high rarities. Centurion does, but not only does Centurion have a lot of high rarities, but Centurion is good out of the gate. So is Memento. Memento is good out of the gate. There are multiple builds that are flowing around. They're mixing it with Horus and everything else. So we'll go down here to get you some more Memento and some of the Velmonica stuff. This is where the rest of it is. You want to build Velmonica, more power to you. I'm not one. I don't see any potential for it. Because you have to mix a bunch of cards that are non-engine to get it to be the engine for the deck. And specifically for me, I just don't see a good play in there at all. So I'm not a big fan of Velmonica. So now as you can see, everything else is relatively low. There's nothing really moving. I'm telling you right now, if you're gonna build Centurion and you want it to be full power, you need to build it now. Because if you wait any longer, you're gonna miss out. Second of all, let's slide over here to Age of Overlord real quick, where we have SP Little Knight, which has been making moves in the market and shooting itself higher and higher and higher, as I predicted on the set launch. I said it was going to be a $120 card, and right now it's sitting a healthy 112. These are not English. These, however, are. So, and it's done nothing but climb. It dropped down. See, it was 116. It dropped down to 82 once the market was being bought out. Went to 103. Started dropping to 99, and now has shot to 112. I predict it's going to be 120 by, say, probably January. If it keeps moving at this pace, this is actually a really fast pace for it, because it was literally to 102 like a week ago, and now it's 112. So I mean, it's moving quick. So if you're looking at SP Little Knight, I'd go ahead and get on that, because this is not gonna hold there for very long. So so next of all, we will get into the anniversary collection. So I'll go ahead and just explain this here a little bit. There's not really a whole lot I need to explain in this thing to begin with. So you've got all these nice quarter century secret rares. You can get them in quarter century secret rares. I've had some quarter century secret rares that don't look very good. I've had quarter century secret rares that look awesome. I think the traps look awesome. The effect monsters, the normal effect monsters, look absolutely horrible. And it is what it is. Like, they just don't look good. Like, spells and traps, they look great. And when you hit these effect monsters, I think D-Shitter is the only one I actually liked. And that's just because of the foiling around him. That's like really the only thing here. So when I look for stuff, okay, like you can buy the quarters, I get it. But something that looks better, in my opinion, and is less expensive. Ever look at the Ultimate Rares? Like, you know, these are cards that used to be like super fucking expensive. Now, for $1 for an Ultimate Rare House Blossom. And perms were 15 apiece. The secret rares used to be 40. Ultimate tactics, ultimate effect failures, which I'm gonna get, ultimate evenly, barren, nib, prosperity. We're talking droplets. You can get Albaz if you're a Bandit fan. I don't know if I do that. Dark Ruler, Lightning Storm, Ghost Spell, Called By. Rhoda if you're a Rhoda player like I am. Is that another Ghost Spell in Haunted Mansion? It is. That's for Change of Heart, D Barrier, D Shifter. The D Shifter one looks awesome. I like high rarity, and quarter century secret rares look awesome, but also at the same time, the effect monsters look absolutely terrible. But as you can see, like everything relatively is staying low. For Ultimate Rare's sake, and this is due to one, there being so many different rarities put in this thing. Second of all, the quarter is the highest on the list, which means the Ultimate Rares just get shot under. It's kind of cool because the Ultimate Rares look better anyway. Then you can get you an Ulti Desires, Lumfire, Nadir Servants, Compulse, Extravagance, Summon Limit, Ecclesia, Arclight, Featherstorm, Flare, Fossil Dig. You name it, you got it. Alright. Cool. So now the last thing that we are going to go over is going to be Age of Overlord. No, I don't talk about the pot collection because I don't actually care about the pot collection. I don't find it to be a good set. Alright. So, first and foremost, we're seeing, you know, the price. The set. The set is jacked. Especially if you hit that quarter century Little Knight. If I hit that quarter century Little Knight, I'd keep that sucker. The second highest card besides SP Little Knight in the set is the Wanted Secret Sinful Spoils with $70. I think is overrated. I've had 4 of these cards and I've given away all of them. I've also had 2 Diabell Star the Black Witch and gave them both away. Simply because I was trying to mix it in Kashtira and the package didn't quite work. But, you know, without. We're gonna go ahead and move on from that. So where we're sitting, the secret rare, Imetsi, is currently $50, which is fine. You know, it's sitting pretty healthy. You go below this, closest one to it, which is $20, is Diabell the Black Star. Go to page 2. Where at least everything is tanked. Like the value of everything is nothing. Dirt cheap. You're talking $18 for Typhon, $14 for a TG Salamander Quarter Century. So if you're playing TGs and you know you can get that there. Quarter Century Tainted of the Testina, I didn't know that was a thing. And then from here, your only expensive cards is Rias, Labyrinth Butler, and Samsar. It's literally just $8. I don't really count that as expensive. I've dropped some serious cash on cards before, and I don't count $8 expensive at all. So then you got your $6 sarcophagus, your $3 that, and then you know your original snake eyes, which doesn't go for anything, and then everything else is like dirt cheap. Like Jiao Long is 56 cents. And also at the regional I went to this weekend, I actually got a face against Jiao Long, and it caught me off. It caught me by surprise. That card's actually better than I thought it was. So I underestimated the new support for Vanquish Soul. It's pretty good. I was on Cash Tier and it got me. That was the one card that got me. Because I knew what the rest of the deck did. I'm kind of misplayed Rock. Or not Rock, but Raisin. And then Jiao Long got me. So yeah, don't underestimate that card. Make sure you read it and know exactly what it does. Because he kind of messed me up on his turn. As I specialed the Scare Claw, and then he switched it into attack mode. Yeah, he got me. Gotta be really, really careful with this stuff. It caught me off guard. I had no idea. Plus, it's just another big body for him. So I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I need to go over while I'm on here? Whenever rarity, age. Not going over the starter deck. Maybe it's this one. I'm looking for the one that actually has like the Cashtira stuff in it, not the little quarters that come in the tens. It does. Cashtira Fenrir should be the highest card. Yes. Yep. So your 10 cards have plummeted. Besides Fenrir. Fenrir will never plummet. Fenrir will never plummet as long as he is still in the game. Simply because he is targeted removal, and he's really good at that. And he's really good at like just permanent spot removal. So if they bring out a one of, you can get rid of it pretty easily. So pretty broken. Your bestials, they look great in the set. You get your runic stuff, your excuse me. Just woke up. Your adventure stuff. You want the labyrinths, some of the labyrinth stuff, it's all dirt cheap. I've started picking up the Scareclaw stuff. I'll get you in on the goo. I used to play Tri Brigade Scareclaw, and I'm bringing it back. Just in a different build, so I'll give you a look at that, and yeah, I'll show you the combos to it, and I'll show you the locks in and out. There's two locks in the deck, but you can just pick up a prismatic secret rare second game Punisher for like 90 cents. That's fair. Your labyrinth boss monster is like $1. Like, if I was gonna pick up labyrinth, now is when I'd be doing it. I'm not gonna do it because Dinomorphia is a better trap deck right now, and that's not a joke. It's a fact that when labyrinth goes second, loses the die roll to Dinomorphia, they can't win. There is nothing they can do to win, because Dinomorphia does what they do but better, and it helps them on their end goal. The reason Labyrinth can't beat them is because they play cards like the Soul of the Supreme King, which allows them to get I think it's 2 Omnis out and just a really big body. Plus, if you're staring down Rex, it's gonna be a rough time. So you have all that going on. Not that, like, let's say, well, yeah, you would get to that point. You'd probably get to Zark. Now if they hit an extravagance, then yeah, you get to it. or with the activated field spell, whichever way. You know, Labyrinth's kind of okay. I'm not a big fan of Lab. I have to be vaguely honest. Not a big fan of it. I played it when it first came out, but it was nothing, you know, breathtaking by any stance. Like I said, you could get all these good cards, like dirt cheap. I'm literally getting ready to order, you know, the rest of my Dynamorphia stuff back again. I'm going to upgrade it all. I'm start playing it again. Hopefully, it doesn't cost very much to even build it in the first place, because most of them are dirt cheap. Yeah, this is what you're doing with. The tins are pretty cheap. I'm trying to think. Speaking of which, yeah, there is a card I need to go over. It's 90. Yeah. So this card shot up out of nowhere. I didn't notice it till some dude at the regional told me about it. He told me, you know, yeah, you know, Galaxy Eyes number 90 is like shot up in price. It's like $90 a copy, and when I checked it, it was actually 75 to 80. But still, that's a lot more than it used to be. It used to be like $30. Now this card is a $90 card because it's the only good rank 8 that has a really good negate. So you have it, and you say, well, it's not the only good one. You'd be right. It's not the only good one, because there's also Harbinger that does spells. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of good cards in the set. Like it is what it is. Speaking of which, while we're on the, if I can spell the market watch, there's some good meta decks that are cheap right now that if I was you, I'd be getting a hold of. Number one is Pirelli. Looking at this, like, man, this is nuts. Yeah, it doesn't actually, you start getting into them until here. As you can see, the price of Pirelli has completely tanked. The spell is still a bit much, and my friend is still a bit much. But beyond that, the whole Pirelli archetype is cheap. I'm not sure why all this stuff popped up with it. Probably because I didn't type in Pirelli right. Yep, that's why. As you can see, even the ultimate rare is like $14, and then everything's just nothing. And all the cards you need to go with Pirelli are dirt cheap, as I just explained. They're all in the rare collection. And if you're looking for Fenrir's, you just saw the cheapest one, which is in the 10, which is $17 a piece. Again, you're not really breaking banks with meta decks like this. Like Pirelli's a fair and balanced deck. If you beat somebody with Pirelli, they're not gonna get mad. Another good deck. Let's see if I can get them to come up. I don't know if I can. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so the Chimera line. As you can see, this is their higher end stuff. Go down here, you get your Chimera Fusion, all this shit. I'm sure there's the main deck stuff somewhere. If I just look up, well, if I go to Age of Overlords, I'll find it. But you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not gonna look all day for it, but you get the hint. Like it's another cheap deck. Honestly, if you want a cheap deck, here's one. The prices were starting to go back up, but I don't think they ever did. They did not. Besides Rise Heart. Rise Heart's the only card making moves. Like I said, these are just relatively cheap. If I was you, I'd go Prismatic. Because one, the Ultra looks pretty cool. It was the original copy. But this just looks way better. You got Theosis here. And then everything under Theosis is nothing. Like, if you don't like preparations in the common, you can get it in an ultra. I don't know why it was printed in an ultra. But, you know, it is what it is. Cashier is still a great deck. I played it at a regional, went 3-3 with it. Losing to probably the 3 best decks of the format. I'm not in a spot where I'm like, okay, it's a bad deck. No, if I would have chose a different route on either of those games, the outcome could have been dramatic. The Rescue Ace game, I couldn't help that. I kept drawing shit, and when you draw just absolute ass, you can't do nothing. Speaking of Rescue Ace, some people are like, oh, this deck's expensive. It's ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Now, Hydrant is $24. Everything else below Turbulence at 7 is worth absolutely nothing. Because your Hydrant was relatively an inexpensive card. And then you had, you know, your Rescue Ace. Then I believe Rescue was worth something. Now it ain't worth nothing. Like $2. They play the Diabella package, but you gotta have that, unfortunately. So if you're done with the $70 Diabella Star package card, I'll tell you, like, you don't really have a choice. You're gonna play Rescue S. So let's go ahead and go over Unchained while we're at this. I'll show you, you know, a couple decks that are currently in format. Obviously, this was one of the decks I lost to. Because it's actually my first loss was Unchained, and the guy was a really good pilot. He did a line I'd not seen before. And I even played the deck, so that's when you throw somebody off guard, is when someone played the deck, piloted the deck, wins locals every locals with the deck, and there was a guy that had a line that I'd never seen. But the Yamas and your Soul are your most expensive cards. Everything else below it worth nothing. Your Unchained Starlight Rare, I think, is sitting at about 120. I think that might be a damaged copy, so I'm thinking they're close to 200 if I remember right. I believe so. I don't want to put up false information. Yeah, the one is a damaged copy, and the rest are about 200. 200 for a Starlight Rare is not like terrible by any means, but it's not great. It doesn't make somebody like me, you know, want to go out of my way to buy something like that when it's that high. And again, just everything else is worth nothing, like at all. I still have some Unchained stuff. I didn't get rid of it all, because I knew that I would need it at some point in time. A card that I could spell it right, Abomination's Prison, instead of me trying to type in Unchained. Yeah, even this card just tanked. Like, it's nothing. This card was like $40, 45. That's the highest I ever seen it get, and it just tanked. Not really worth anything. I'm just gonna start going over like this basic, not Jalgan. Jesus Christ, he ain't worth nothing. And I got sad at that too, because I literally pulled one, and I was very, very sad. So, looking at Vanquish Soul, you know, you go from your collector rare Varus down, and Vanquish Soul anymore is not worth anything. When it first came out, it was. This was the deck to play. And besides that one dude, there's, you know, that one Vanquish Soul player get me with the Jiaolong. No other pushes from it. And again, like you see, it's dirt cheap. Steak is not worth anything either. Like $14. Floating in between 15 and 17 is what it's looking like, but not worth anything. Again, you know, just casual meta decks. Another meta deck that you can play. Not saying that you would. I played it here really recently, done really well. Not really had a problem because my deck building is really weird. But again, you can see the prices of trap tricks are like dirt cheap as well, so you can build them too. I don't think. Now here's one I don't know because I've never looked at the prices recently. Could be really expensive. Okay. It would not be expensive. Okay. So another budget option for him is Makenko, I guess. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of cards go in the deck. I have not studied Makenko. It doesn't. The reason I haven't studied Makenko is because it doesn't really do enough for me to personally worry about it. If that makes any sense. It's just one of those things to where, I mean, you give your opponent 3k body. That's great. But most of the time, I would just link it off anyway. Actually, I think that big dude stops you from special summoning, doesn't he? It's like number 30 or whatever, isn't it? That's a goal. If he stops you from special summoning, because I've seen it done, I outed it quick. Because I actually activated Droplet and sent it. Yeah, it doesn't activate. It's just like Gimmick Puppet. During standby phase, attach one existing material or take 2,000. Plus some monsters, roll score has no existing material. It cannot attack. I mean, yeah, I get it. But like, again, like it's just something that they can do. I mean, it's cute, I guess. I didn't have a problem because I droplet it, outed it, and then just, you know, proceeded to kill them. The part where I hate to go back to it. The part where this gets you is it doesn't actually lock. It's just a condition why this card is on field. So it's not as good as the Gimmick Puppet. You cannot supposed to summon any monsters. Doesn't activate, but it doesn't. It's not like Gimmick Puppet. I'll show you why. So Gimmick Puppet is super toxic and really good. Simply because of this. Where it says if this card is special summoned, you cannot special summon any monsters for the rest of this turn. Where the acid golem's only applying while it's on field. So if you can get rid of the acid golem like I did with Droplet, it kind of just shits the bed. It's not that, you know, enticing of a card. So I personally would not be afraid of acid golem. That's what I said. Makenko is great and all, but it just doesn't, you know. It's like a really bad meta deck. Currently right now, I'm like back and forth with Pirelli being a really good, a really bad meta deck, but I do know that there are some game states where it's unbeatable, which is what like really like entices me about the deck. Sort of like Cash, where Cash had like Mind Hacker and Shangs. Once you Shang locked out everything, and they couldn't, you know, give you a kaiju because you play like a Fall King. Like you just got them stuck. I mean, I like some good broken archetypes, and I'm not a big fan of balanced formats. I'm not against it because, you know, I can go over all these different things. I'm like, hey, you can play this deck, this deck, this deck, this deck, whatever. Another deck that's coming back here lately, notice, is Phantom Knights. So the only expensive card in Phantom Knights is going to be the Starlight. All the rest of the stuff is like nothing really. I mean, you got a $10 card and a $7 card. Like that's really it. Phantom Knights are really cheap, really budget friendly. You don't have to go out of your way to, you know, build this great massive money pile of a deck to even win anymore, which is nice and it's good for the game. YouTubers don't like it, but you know, they can go suck a dick. You got, you know, you just Bader here. He's 25. I think that's for a damaged copy, I'm pretty sure. 25 is a near mint copy. It is not verified, so your first verified is $33, which is the one that I would go with. How was you? If you're paying the extra $8, you're gonna get your card. And as you can see, like everything else is whatever it is. I don't know why this card even has a market value. I have not seen this card used in any build. I toyed around with it day one, but could never get it to work. And then I just decided not to play it. It was just really bad. I mean, Abyssal Aliber, I actually understand because it actually does something. Especially if somebody, like, you know, you do something to special something to their field and you can use Aliber to get it back. So it's kind of cool. I'm trying to think of another quick meta deck I can go over. Because I went over all three of the ones that beat me. I mean, I guess I could go with Flu. Excuse me. Heating up a storm over here. So yeah, basically, you know, just real easy, real simple. You know, just cheap cards. You're only looking at like $40 for Starlight, which is awesome. So like, I mean, if I was going to build a deck, this is probably the one I would do. And I think, at most, I would only play 2 snow. So only 2 snow. It's really all you need. The rest of the stuff is just dirt cheap for no reason. And the only other card you need besides this is Ryza, the Mega Monarch, which where it's at, absolutely nothing. Of course, you need D Shifter or whatever. Like, it's nothing. I've got like 12 copies of D Shifter at this point. I've used it in so many different decks. I don't think of the other cards you need. That one. This is the other one you need. You can get the parallel rare, or you can just get the secret rare. If I was you, I'd just get the fucking secret rare. The parallel rare doesn't look that good, honestly. I would just get the secret rare, 387. Like, I'm just being for real. Like, parallel rare doesn't look great. To play Flu, you do need these certain cards. You do need Pot of Prosperities, Pot of Dualities, whatever. Pot of Duality, I think, is not very much anymore. I mean, I had like ultra rares, but like if I was, you know, buying it again, I would get the secret rares, which are $30. $30. I'm not paying $115 for a damn pot of duality. That's literally what I would do, because I have these. With no cool, they just don't look good. This one looks the best. I can't even see that, first of all. So I probably wouldn't play that. I would like to be able to see my card in order to play it. That's just my opinion. So you need those. Like I said, you can go super rares, like whatever. If you're playing budget, you do you. It just all depends. All the flu cards are like nothing. They actually gave them a card. Well, like you can literally get a Harpy's Featherstorm QCR for like $6. And like you only play two, so like you're golden. Unless if you side one. If I played Flu, I would side a Harpy's Featherstorm. And also, this is gonna be a budget deck that I build. Take it to locals. See how it does. Once I learn it. Flu's not hard to learn. It's got a simple line. It's not complicated. It's really, really simple. It's really simple to out, especially if you know how to get around it. And I faced a Flu player at the regional I went to last weekend with Cash. Drew D Shifter. They instantly played Pot of Duality to get to Eaglin, and I did not shifter because I then realized what they were on. Because I have D Shifter. I don't let D Shifter slide on my hand until I know what my opponent's on. And if I know they're on Flu, I'm not letting the thing slide. But yeah, no, it's a just really cheap option you can do. I'm not saying you won't play Flu. Yes, I am. Saying that. Also, I'm trying to remember. Called. I know some of them are Union. Oh no, that comes up. No, it's Bee Buster, right? Bee Buster Drake. So like, I'm just gonna show you just the one because I don't remember all the names. But they're all relatively cheap. If you want to build ABCs, that's another rogue option. Also like another rogue option. You know, going with ABCs or whatever type of deck you want to build. I don't know why everything just popped up here, but you know, you got Therions. You could actually play Therions, and I don't know why all this stuff come up. I think I did, right? I did. Didn't pop up with all that crap again? It is. Okay, well that's stupid. Anyway, I don't know if you could see, but we're on like $8 here, and it's, the first one still hasn't showed up. So even though it says 23, I'm not sure why it says 23. Let's see if I can find it before I close out this video. Because like I've spent like 40 minutes talking about like budget options, and you know, getting a little market watch out, just so y'all could like see the prices of everything, see what you want to build. Oh yeah, I gotta give you the goo, the real goo. Yeah, as you can see, we're down this far and it still is not $3, so if that just proves my point to how cheap they really are. So let's go to probably my favorite archetype of all time, which is Tri-Brigade. When I first got in the game, I hated this deck until I played it. Once I played Tri-Brigade, I loved it. So Tri-Brigade is dirt cheap. Cards cost nothing. We're talking a $90 Starlight rare that you have to have 3 of, however. A Tri-Brigade Link 5 that you only need 1 of, and 1 of only comes up every once in a while. And Charade, which you play it 2 or 3, and it always comes up. It's $3. Everything else is nothing. They made a quarter-century secret rare Revolt at $2 and tanking. And everything else below this, nothing. Especially this broken spell. If you've never read the spell, I'd give it a read. I'm not going to go over it because I'm going to close up this video. But that's like one of the best Tri-Brigade cards ever printed. Like Tri-Brigade Roar that came out in Cyber Access, that card is busted. So I would give that card a read. Also, because I'm mixing the two together, I went ahead and looked at prices because of the 10s. It did this. So the 10s completely tanked the value of any Scarecrow monster that had any algorithm or boost. And you think, well, it must just be the cards, right? Nope, it tanks the field spells too because they printed the Prismatic Secret Rare, which I have 3 copies of. Because I literally just got them in the mail the other day, and they tanked the value on them all. So here we are. Like I said, I am not displeased with what they've done. What I am displeased on is that they've created a ban list that has forced us into such a balanced format. Okay. Well, here's my deal. I'm okay with being balanced. I'm okay with all this stuff. But you can't have a balanced format where your possible best deck is $700 and can get beat by a deck that is $30. I'm sure people are kind of like confused on why like I am displeased with this. I'm displeased with this because this doesn't make any sense from a player's or marketing standpoint of view. Like, why would you go out and pay $700 for a deck that can literally get smashed by a deck that is $60 or $30 or $20 even? Because I just showed you Phantom Knights and the Adventurer line, and that's a deck that's running around right now. And I've faced Adventure Plunder. It does the same thing, and it's even cheaper. Like, that's my point. Like, why would you go out and spend $700 on a deck? Like, ooh, it looks cool. For a $20 deck that can just smack it right in the mouth. Like, that's the whole point I have with the market right now. Like, this doesn't make any sense. The Starlight rares are tanking because of these quarter-century secret rares. And to say that quarter-century secret rares are not Starlights would be a misrepresentation of what they are, because that's exactly what they are. The only difference is they have a gold text, like one of those old gold rares. It's exactly the same. Starlight rares, the only difference is it's got like the little secret text in there. That's literally it. I've had Starlights, I've had quarter centuries, you name it, I've had it. So, if there's anything I missed in this market watch, just let me know in the comments down below. But I'm Pierce Nation, and we'll see you in the next video. Pierce Nation out.